And we're back with State Representative Doyle Heffley here in the generally assembled studios. And we talked last time about the things that we weren't achieving here in the State House. And now we're going to be talking a little bit about the things that are getting done that maybe shouldn't be getting done. House Democrats have a kind of crazy agenda. And what's going on here?
Yeah, they actually have sponsored legislation in the State House. Really, it's a war on energy. It's a war on American freedom, quite honestly. I mean, it's what makes us our ability to be mobile as a society and take care of ourselves. And there's one bill out there, and I read it, and I just was my mind was blown by it. And I actually got calls from a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine who have small lawnmower repair shops. And there is a proposal sponsored by a very progressive member of the Democratic caucus in the House that would ban gas-powered lawn maintenance equipment, so like riding mowers, lawn mowers, weed whackers, leaf blowers. Now, I got to tell you, I have a battery operated leaf blower. I love it, but I can only get so much of the work done before I have to charge it up again, and that's okay. I don't mind that. But I guess if you live in a small townhouse and your backyard is 10 by 20, maybe you can cut that with an electric weed whacker. But
Certainly.
Primarily, most people in rural Pennsylvania are going to need a lawnmower or a riding mower to cut their lawn. And also, you look at all the athletic fields, soccer fields, state parks that are relying on these mowers. Some of them are 60-inch wide mower decks to get done. And on top of that, back-end loaders, front-end loaders on farms, and all the other things that are out there that they're used in the landscape world. And I just think it's not very well thought out. It's about as ridiculous as the president saying everybody's got to drive an electric vehicle when we don't have enough electric vehicles. And at the end of the day, we need to produce electricity to charge them. I am certainly not opposed to electric vehicles. Like I said, I have an electric leaf blower. It works great. But we really need to think and put forth legislation that's not going to negatively impact the entire state of Pennsylvania.
Democrats just want to change the way we deal with energy in our nation and specifically in our Commonwealth. And our Commonwealth is really energy rich. It seems like a dumb time to be doing this. They're also trying to put a stop to one of our most abundant resources, and by banning fracking, we're sitting on the Marcellus Shale here. We need to be able to get that out. The whole world needs it. Certainly our nation needs it. This is just ill-timed.
Yeah, and it's really it's an ideological thing. It's not well thought out. It's not practical, right? I mean, you look at some of the energy costs right now. I have people every day coming into my office filling out applications for LIHEAP. We just had the federal government say they're putting record amounts of money into LIHEAP for heating assistance for low-income families and especially seniors on fixed incomes. Well, the reason they're having to do that, so this is how bizarre it is. So we have natural gas right here under our feet in Pennsylvania. That's Pennsylvania jobs, Pennsylvania energy, Pennsylvania revenue, right, and growth domestically to help fund our budget. And instead, they want to stop that, but then the federal government is going to do more borrowed spending, borrow money from China or other countries to give low-income and senior citizens extra money because they can't afford to buy the oil from Iran and Saudi Arabia to heat their homes when we have natural gas right here. I mean, we're shutting down American jobs, and then our federal government is borrowing money from foreign countries to give money so people can
spend more money,
send more money offshore. So we're borrowing money from countries, and then we're giving it back to them for oil when we have our resources right here. It's just not very well thought out. Fracking has been proven, especially in our Commonwealth, to be very safe. There have been a few instances, like with any project, when you're building a road or you're driving a car down the road, there's always a risk factor. But I think that the DEP and the regulations that we have here in this Commonwealth are some of the most stringent on the natural gas industry, and rightly so. I get a kick out of when people say Republicans don't support clean air and water. I breathe the same air as my Democratic colleagues. I drink the same water as my Democratic colleagues. Every Pennsylvania has a right to clean air and clean water, but also people should have the ability to affordably heat their homes, and I believe that we can do both. People should have the ability to get in their car and drive downtown and be able to afford to buy a loaf of bread, right? And by limiting what kind of vehicle they can drive, what kind of energy they have to use, it really puts those restraints on them. I believe that we can develop our energy resources clean and efficiently much better Then you look at the dirtiest countries in the world like China, Russia, and now we want to buy energy from them instead of getting it here domestically. It makes no sense.
The sad irony of all this is that we want to go to a more electric grid-based system. We want to be a little bit cleaner. We could do it here in the Commonwealth, support it. We just need a little bit more time to develop the resources we have so that all of this could work, and we just want to shoot ourselves in the foot and not do anything about it.
Pennsylvania has always been an energy state. We are a net exporter of electricity. Electricity is something that we export, something that we produce here in the state and export to other states. They buy our electricity. So we are a net exporter of electricity, is why we can, operate as a state. We produce that electricity in many ways by coal-fired plants. We have the cogen plants, which are very clean burning, and they actually clean up waste coal in throughout the Commonwealth that has been dumped for decades, which creates an environmental hazard for acid mine drainage. And these same folks are trying to shut down those cogen, what they call cogen plants or waste coal plants, that clean up this environmental hazard. And one of the things that they do is they have Bitcoin mining operations on site. So it actually helps to provide those resources into the industry and grow that industry so we can clean up more while at the same time be part of cutting edge technology. Think about this. In Carbon County, we have an anthracite mine which mines coal. And right up the road, we have a plant that burns waste coal, cleaning up decades of environmental waste coal that have been dumped throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. And we also have a bunch of IT folks working there because they have servers that are mining Bitcoin. So we're mining Bitcoin. Talk about the evolution of our economy because we create these opportunities. But yet my colleagues across the aisle, they don't see any of that. They just are focused, looking down a narrow, small lens at the world of energy, and don't see that we can do both. We can create jobs. We can create new industries in Pennsylvania. We can clean up old waste plants. We can recycle materials and use them to produce energy. Recycle, reuse, reduce. Those are the three keys to clean up our environment. And these resources are doing it. Instead, they're trying to ban lawnmowers and ban Bitcoin or shut down fracking. And that's not good for our state. It's not good for the residents that live here.